Hello everyone, this is Alex Pop from Romania and welcome to another chess video. Last time we were here we discussed some of the games that I played. Some fellow Romanians already had their share of the fun, laughing about my mistakes, but I found out now, in a sense, a new method of getting the games a bit better. So, to getting the positions, getting the mistakes analyzed. And right now I'm going to show you a batch of games that I played. Okay, so I went to a small locale where chess players meet in my hometown in Târgu Mureș, and I played a few games. And as always, I tried to remember at least the first games. And so we will try right now to analyze the games, get them inside Chessable, just to show you the new method, which I think should do much better. So yeah, some of them I don't know them, some of the players I don't know. So yeah, I think I will be corrected by fellow citizens, fellow people from Târgu Mureș, because so now we can already see that in the first game, all right, knight c3, d5. The why d5? Because if you play g6, e4, you're suddenly entering a pierce defense. So this is not exactly something that you would want, and that's why I choose d5. Okay, knight c3, c5, and suddenly we are entering a Chigorin line with colors reversed. So if you know, the Chigorin line is something like this: knight c6 here. And okay, a discussion could be made of how good this line is for black. We are now entering it with colors reversed, right? So we're playing c5, and here he took. And after d takes c5, I didn't exactly know the best line, or I just played by instinct knight c6 because this one should do. I'm threatening d4, and I have ideas of e6. He played bishop g5, which is, I don't think it's that threatening. After d4, it's starting to be problematic. So after d4, I'm already threatening to take. I want to take the center. So after bishop takes, g takes, already I have a good enough space advantage. e5 is coming next. So here I was thinking he will play something like knight b1, e5, and afterwards here he just took on d4, which is completely losing, right? And after bishop d7, castle, king, queen side, everything fell apart. So all in all, here there weren't that many mistakes that I could find. So all in all, it was a good enough game. So we will move on to the next one. Right, no, we don't save it. This one played with black, and yeah, I started playing the Najdorf variation, and it's like, oh, you played the Najdorf, let's play attacking chess, because why not? Bishop g5, e6, f4, and already I was out of book here. Out of book in the sense that I didn't have a prepared line against this variation. I knew just some ideas. So here queen b6 queen b6 is a good enough line, or h6. There were also ideas with knight d7, or if you really don't know any theory, you can play knight c6 and just enter a rouser. Bishop d7 or rook c8 and play a rouser. But then again, I still would prefer this Scheveningen setup. So with e6, a6. So f4, bishop e7, queen f3. Here I think h6 might be a better line for me, because I played queen c7, knight d7, and already here something is not, will not, I was playing in a sense by hand. I didn't know the lines. I just knew this setup for black and thought it was good enough. But with h6 in, I think the setup is a bit better. So here I think h6. Am I allowed to? Yeah, bishop h4, knight d7, and you would have, yeah, also there's knight c6, as I can see, and if I play knight, yeah, I have to check this line. I'm still not sure of it, because I also all the time I have this idea of g5, right? So the way that I play with knight d7, he played bishop b3. Yeah, maybe here. Yeah, maybe here h6. But still, it's, yeah, and here g5. Yeah, I think this is one line that I missed, but it's still not that easy, at least. So f takes, knight e5. Yeah, this might be the better line, because what I played in the game, b5, is very, I thought it was very risky from my point, because after queen g3 I didn't see the good enough line, because h6 is already not that good, right? Just checking to see, yeah, all is good. So this is what I'm saying. In h6 you might take, and you're starting to have ideas with bishop takes b5, so, and these are not necessarily nice for me. A takes, knight takes, here rook d6. I think this could be my best line, actually, but you can already see that it's not very fun for me. Okay, the engine gives 0, 0, 0, so this might be a start, but it looks ugly, ugly AF. And he also has 4 pawns for a bishop. Yeah, these are the type of lines that you have to know by heart if you play the Najdorf, and I don't know them. So yeah, so here h6 in any case was a better move. h6. Yeah, and if he takes, I take with the bishop. Yeah, I think I'm forced to take with the bishop, because I played rook c8, and here he played e5, which might be good enough. Yeah, b4, and here he took, which already gives me the advantage. But here knight f5 was annoying. He's threatening knight takes g7, so if I take, he takes, and then he takes on it, or bishop h6, and it's all over. Already he has multiple lines. He can take on f6 if he wants. So yeah, knight on f5, and if I take, he'll take, and already his rook is well placed. I can't take the queen like before. Yeah, so knight f5 already wins on the spot. So this is why, if we go back here, I have to play b4, because otherwise I'm crushed. And here knight f5 wins, so this means the rook c8 was a mistake. Also, maybe a interesting line would have been knight h5. This one is a bit funny for me, because he wants to go back, but this is not the side. This is not why you play the Najdorf. All right, and apart from the fact that he has bishop takes f6, he can just play normal chess. So this is why, yeah, knight h5 is not something that we would do. And after e5, d takes e, f takes b4. Yeah, he took on a f6, which already helped me. I took. He played here, I took the knight, and it already black is starting to be a bit better. And here, for some reason, I was still panicking. I thought I was seeing ghosts. And I play knight e5 just to prevent any ideas of knight f5 or any sort of stuff like that. Here I could have played just rook g8 and it's good enough. I'm starting to take pawns everywhere. Taking the g3 pawn, g2 pawn. Yeah, and he played this, knight e5, bishop g... Oh, and here I already blundered, I think. No. I played rook g8, as I recall. He played rook f1, and I took here, and I played here, something like this. Yeah, and he took on a6. Yeah. And this is... Wow, I messed up very badly. Actually, I don't remember well. Because I remember I took on g2. I remember he took on a6. This thing I know that happened. But there's also something like this. Yeah, I'll have to check with the other player what exactly we played. Because something similar. I made the final mistake of playing bishop to h3 and not bishop to d5. Which should have been. In any case, before I should have played rook g8. Right? So now we have this game. Okay? And what we can do, and it might be easier for you since you already have Chessbase, is that you can open a different database, for instance Games Black. Alright? And here you can, like before, copy the line, copy the position, copy current position in Chessbase, and here you will set up a new you will first start a new game, and then you will add a new position with S. Paste Fen, and you already have this position. And you can input the move that you want. So h6 here, knight d7 could be, and you save it. You don't even need the white and black data, you just need the position. Alright, and you saved it here. Alright, and now we go through the game again. We'll go through bishop d3, b5. Alright, so here again h6 might have been better. So again we copy the position, Ctrl N, S, or set up new position if you want. So we have new, not board window, I think position setup. So there was, with S you would do it in Chessbase. Just press S. Right, copy Fen. Already you have this one. H6. Yeah, I have to input here. H6, G5, 95. Right, save. And save it where you want. And now, another one. We go through the game again. And again, h6 was way better. But we didn't play it. So, h6. Again, we have a new game. Position setup, paste Fen. And we have this position where I should have played this line. So, I can analyze the game with an engine in Chessbase and add the positions much quicker. I don't need that website anymore. It's just by new game, new position. Copy, paste, and we're good to go, right? And we can keep doing this. So this is this is the new game. E5 takes b4. Yeah, and here, yeah, knight f5 was crushing. So again, we find a new position that spaced fen, right? And here rook g8 was good enough. And we can move on. New position. We find this line, and here bishop d5 was way better. So bishop d5. So copy S, paste fen. Yeah, bishop d5. And we finished analyzing this game. It's way quicker than with chessable, because in chessable you have to add, for each position you have to put where do you want to save it, and it takes time, not a lot of time, but this way I think it's much quicker. And now we can go to a next game. Oh yeah, save. Yeah, I forgot the name of my opponent. I think it's Nakshu. Yeah, I will be corrected in short time. But again, I played with black. For some reason, I kept drawing with black. I kept getting black. Everyone wanted to play against me with white, so okay. So played this line, and here c5 is a good enough move, but I think I'm getting tricked. So I want to play a King's Indian, right? So I would like to play bishop g7, bishop g2, castles, d6, and this would be a good enough line. Here, by not playing c4, I thought I will trick him, so I will play c5. But here, I think it's a bit better to play bishop g7, castle, d6. For the moment, I don't want to enter a Grunfeld with d5, right? d5, c4, c6. This is a symmetrical Grunfeld. This is the tried and tested way to equalize, but you're equalizing a bit too much if you want to say. So a King's Indian player would want a full-blooded battle. So this is why it's after c5 he could play c3. And this is my only issue, which I realized only after. Because at c5, c3, he's starting to threaten to take on c5. And if I take on d4, well, I'm tricked into the line I'm trying to avoid. Yeah, so d5, bishop here, castles, and he'll have knight e5 next move. And again, it's an equal line, but it's annoying to be move ordered. So if someone is looking for a new move order, this could be. I think I've seen Nakamura beat what was the name of the blindfold king? Timur Gareev. Yeah, he beat him with something similar. So Timur played something like b6 and then I think d5, and Nakamura was already getting an advantage. So this line is a bit tricky. You can't play anything. Here you have to take on d4 with the symmetrical Grunfeld. And again, symmetrical Grunfeld, we played. Yeah, he played bishop g2, and already I'm playing a reversed. I was still not sure that I'm tricking him, because I played bishop g7, and I get the distinct impression that if he plays here c4, he gets what he wants. Because next move is knight c3, and he would get this line, which is considered good enough for white, at least it's in practical terms. So I'm not exactly sure here what d5 again is a move that I would rather avoid. So all my problems start with c5. This is why I think bishop g7 is at least a bit better. So after c5, c3, I took d5, and already I took this line. Yeah, and here he plays c3, which is not good at all. And after castle, I already have a Grunfeld, colors reversed, so I'm in this line, right? So I'm in this. This is what I'm saying, that I'm in a Grunfeld defense, because I'm in this line with colors reversed. Alright, and here he would play c6, which is not good. Again, so I'm imposing my positions. And now rook e8, good enough move. And here I think we should already add the default Kibitzer just to be sure. So bishop g5 is already something that is not shouldn't be that well. And here, yeah, knight e4 might have been way better. Knight e4, I threaten his bishop, so he can't leave it there, because I threaten to take the next move. And otherwise I'm gonna play e5. Yeah, and I think this should be good enough, but this is the sort of move. I played h6, even e5 was good enough. I played h6, he took on f6, and he played queen d2, which is bad. And what? e5. e5. And if he takes? I take. He takes. Wow. Okay. Now that's a tactic worth noting. Yeah, I'm threatening to take the queen. Yeah, I'm trapping the queen next move. Huh. Yeah, so we have knight d4, I have bishop g5. And knight c6, yeah, queen f6. And the queen is trapped. Which means that he can't take on h6 because I play e4. Okay. Okay, you learn something new every day. That's why I already had e5 because he can't take. Well, that's a tactic. That's a neat tactic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Alright. Yeah, this is because I played like this afterwards. I mean, he played knight b3, and here, and here I started making a mistake. Yeah, here I should have played e4. It's a standard move, but it's a move I would rather not make anytime soon. And also, after 91, yeah, bishop e6, this is the idea. This is black's idea, that you have a good enough center. And if you play something like this, whoa. Now this is some computer chess stuff. Yeah, alright. So this is, now we're getting into the discussion that I wanted, where Stockfish's moves are a bit too much for a human to see. So here bishop e6, you would have to be able to calculate this. I think, yeah, instead of bishop f5, I think queen b6 is a little more normal. Yeah, this should be. When already I'm starting to give away some of the advantage. Yeah, now it's closer to equal because I messed up the structure. Yeah, and here if you play this, then you're starting to be, yeah, it's suspicious. Alright, you will have rook d8 next move, but playing a pawn down in this position is not something everyone would do. And especially since this move was good enough. But here already white has knight c5. This is why I didn't want to play bishop e6, but I didn't see this idea. Probably this is the closest I have to an advantage and to human play, or human-like play. So queen b6, you take, I take, right? So we can remove everything before, delete, right, and delete this one. So this is where I should have played it. I played knight e7, which is not good, and here bishop g4. Here I had to play either a5 or bishop e6. A5 already, I'm playing a pawn down. A4, knight c or d6. This is already not that. I think I have to take. He takes with a pawn. And my knight is trapped. Afterwards. My bishop is trapped. He'll play d7. Okay. Yeah, but even like this, it's still... I'm a pawn down and playing for compensation. I think that's... But that's why a5 is a bit too much for my taste. I think immediately I would play bishop e6, just to be able to have any ideas. And after this, then I have bishop g4. Okay. So this is how he wants, because now I have rook c8. Because the way I played in the game, he had h3, which I calculated, and here I was just thinking of taking on f3. Yeah, but maybe I still have bishop d7. No, I don't have. Yeah, I have to take. I have to take, you take, I take, and... Or play d4, yeah. And... Or a5. And we're getting the same ideas as before. This moves a5. We're getting into the territory where Stockfish outperforms any human, and it starts to become a... So a5, e takes d5. It's already looking good for white. I'm not exactly sure here what I should have played if this would happen after h3. Possibly that bishop takes f3, bishop takes. He wants a5, but after this, a4, knight a1, I'm already a pawn down. Yeah, so I'm playing a pawn down position, which is not very comfortable for a human player. So he would play something like this and it's pretty equal. But he didn't play it. Yeah, I think in any case we're analyzing the moves for white, which is not necessarily needed. Right, let the opponent fight the good moves. You focus on yours. Yeah, and here he took on d5, and after e4 it's pretty much game over, because now he's losing a piece. Yeah, so take, and I took on d5, and afterwards the conversion was not particularly easy for me. It should have been way easier, but eventually I managed. And that was it. And again, so again, we have a black game, right? We add a new game, and here, right, what do we play? G6, and here again bishop g7 was a bit better. So here add new position, right? Bishop g7, save black, and we don't care about them. And bishop g2, take. Yeah, d5 is not something you want, so that's why bishop g7, knight c6. Yeah, here maybe d5 would have been better. Or castles. Yeah, castles, I think it would have been better. Because afterwards I felt I was getting tricked. And now we keep on adding the positions. Right, paste fen, castles, save, and move on to the next game and the next game. So c3, d5, rook e8. Yeah, here, right? It's so all in all, this method is way easier. It's easier to input the lines, right? So here knight e4. and we are able to do these much quicker. So now what will happen, we'll get to the bottom of it, right? Bishop takes, king takes, queen d2, and here, yeah, here, the cute trick. I should have faced fan e5, should have played e5, take, takes, e4, right? This cute trick. Again, e5, I'm threatening the knight, he takes, now after e4, I will trap the queen. So this is what happens. Now, so I played this move, and here I should have played, so new line, paste fan. Here I should have played e4. Right? I play knight e7, and here bishop e6 was a little bit better. Paste fan, bishop e6, right? So this is the kind of, and then bishop g4. All right, we keep adding the mistakes, and from here on, everything is good enough. Right, we move on to the next game. And now we get to a game against a fellow rival, or actually a teammate, a trainer. He is a lot for me. Yeah, so Daniel Baratoshi, yeah, it's we did play a lot of games over the years, so sometimes I managed to trick him, sometimes, but most of the times he would crush me in one way or another. I'm still trying to trick him. This game, okay, so I played, it was a blitz game, so should be taken with a grain of salt, but yeah, he played this line bishop d6, and I completely forgot everything. So I played castles, and I really don't know here the lines. So maybe d3 is the better line or not. I don't exactly. There is a book by Halifman, Squeezing e4, e5, and I know the contents, but I haven't bought the book and I haven't seen the lines. I've seen it on Chess Stars a lot, so I don't exactly know what is recommended here after bishop d6. I think also Giri played something similar against a lot of people. He played h3, bishop here, and then bishop d3, and he beat Kramnik, and I think he won 3 out of 3 with this type of position, which gives you an idea that this line is not completely stupid, right? Here I was just playing normal chess, and already I think I should have played, yeah, bishop e3. So bishop e3. Yeah, this is the first inaccuracy. But again, it's not that much of an inaccuracy because Stockfish will change his mind. Might have been also, yeah, bishop a4 line, or queen, bishop e3, or h3. Here basically you're playing a waiting game. I tried to play knight e2 to do a standard maneuver, but I think this maneuver is not that well. I think all in all bishop a4 is a better move. So we will try to stick with this. The idea is to somehow get a better Spanish line with d3. But here we're playing a game of who tricks whom, right? So, and here I already had bishop takes on c6, but I didn't want to. Knight g3, and I'm already starting to get a slight advantage. So I think already bishop d2 would be an idea, or rook e1. Yeah, rook e1 I would like. a bit more, but not exactly sure which lines I'm supposed to allow and which I'm not. So maybe rook e1 is not that. Yeah, I think or bishop d2. Bishop d2 might be again. You're seeing me confused about the lines. So this is a place where I haven't been. Or c4. This is actually looks interesting, but again, it's a playable line. You're seeing me analyze with Stockfish, and this is the type of position where Stockfish could change his mind a lot, right? And bishop d2 is not necessarily a move you would want. You could play also h3, and but d5 is still in the air. So all in all, yeah, I think here might be a good idea uh, to leave for further practice. I'll leave bishop a4 as an interesting move. This could have been. He played d6, and now I am starting to take over, but not like this. The idea is that he is not playing active moves, and so I am allowed to. I'm getting a better Spanish because I get knight, bishop a4, bishop c2. Immediately I have the knights prepared, so it is. I'm starting to get a good enough line. I played h3, which is not necessarily needed. Here I could have played rook e1, which is the normal move, and then only then I play rook e1, g6, and already it's playing with fire. Yeah, and here bishop d2 would it be an idea, or bishop a4. Alright, I played d4, which is, yeah, here he already had knight d4, and it's actually knight d4 is that good enough for. I take, he takes, I takes, I take, he takes, I take. Yeah, this is the sort of position now. This is. I was seeing that I shouldn't lose a pawn immediately, but this might be good enough for black in the sense that he managed to exchange some pieces. Right? I played the way that I played d5, knight v8, bishop d3 is a bit suspect. It's a bit suspect for black, but here I think I missed some ideas. I could have played bishop d3, which would have been a lot better. So bishop d3. The idea is just to have this. I already have the center, and the bishop on d3 protects the e4 pawn, and black is starting to run out of ideas, of active ideas. And if he runs out of active ideas, I can come slowly on the queen side. Right, so bishop d3 might have been a better line, because after d5, also d5 is a good enough line, but I have to be careful here. My first instinct here, and I think it would have been a good enough instinct, was to take on d7, because as I knew in the King's Indian, you can't attack without that light squared bishop. But I thought that bishop d3, I'm tricking him in the sense that I'll have rapid expansion, and I'm preventing f5, I'm preventing a lot of lines. But I think bishop takes d7 would have been a much better line. Bishop takes, knight takes, c4, and we're starting to have a King's Indian where he lost the white squared bishop, and I can play with white much faster for the queenside expansion. And if he runs out of counterplay, well, good enough for me. That's what I would say. Yeah, c6, c4, and yeah, already here I have to be careful with the moves, but c4 might be good enough. Bishop d7, and already here I slightly messed up because I had b4, which was. And if I play e5, I play b5, and his knight is out of squares. But should he play this? Yeah, and already I think we're getting to a position which Stockfish evaluates as completely winning for me, but I wouldn't enter it. That I actually don't trust this evaluation much, because after b6 I can't do anything against black on the queen side, so I have to beat him on the king side, and he can just say, this is a position that might be interesting. I'll leave it like that. Or bishop b2 might have been good enough, or takes. I played bishop e3. Yeah, so b4 I don't believe in that much. Yeah, but here, yeah, here I'm starting to take over. So I played a3. I'm starting to have ideas everywhere, because black closed the position, and now I can play either on the queen side or on the king side. This is already like a King's Indian. Yeah, and here I lost the thread. Yeah, here I should have played queen d2. And if knight... I'm threatening on h6, right? So he has to play. He has to play, otherwise I take on h6. And now either knight h2 to get on g4, or b4 I don't think I'm... or b4. Also b4 is good enough. I'm starting to get the ideas that I wanted, right? So to get on the queen side. And so queen d2 would have been much better. Or at the very least I have rook e b1. But I played rook b1, knight a6, and here again I lost the thread. I should have played some either queen d2 or knight e2. Ideas, something like, or knight h2 or b3. b3 is actually good enough, I think, for me. In the sense that now he can't do anything. He can't play a4 because I always have b4. And I can slowly build on the king side now. Or knight e2. The same idea applies. I think I'll leave knight e2. And yeah, after b6, b4, yeah, here. So I played bishop d2, which is a step in the wrong direction. And again, I didn't want to play queen c1 for some reason. So I had to take the knight from g3 where it wasn't doing anything to c3 or some place. I played b4 immediately and I lost all my advantage. So here, knight e2 would have been much better. I played b4, he took. I was eager to open the position, but here I don't have any ideas. And here I had to play this. I had to play rook e2 in order to be first on the b file. This is already starting to look ugly for me. I played rook a1, I took. Yeah, and here I played no, I played queen here. But in any case, I played queen b1. In any case, I'm starting to have a bad position. Queen b2. Yeah, and here I had to play queen b1 and rook e3. I think I played rook b1, but might be mistaken. And from here we got to a point of already I'm starting to make inaccuracies. So here best move by Stockfish would have been rook e1, which is a bad sign if that is the best move, or rook c1. So black is starting black is starting to take over, and this is an idea which I was trying to play on the king side finally. And now he played b5, and here I already had this move bishop e3, which might have been interesting, because if he takes, at least I'll get a passed pawn, right? So I will be able to take this pawn eventually with knight d2, knight takes c4, right here. Yeah, so with knight d2 I might be able to take that pawn and then get a favorable position. The way we played, well, he got what he wanted in a sense, but it's still messy for black, because I will be threatening bishop e3. He played bishop g4, I played bishop e3, he took it, and here I lost the thread. I took on c5. I should have taken on g3, and again, this is the sort of position that if I'm able to take on c5 and force a favorable trade, I might play with a good knight against a bad bishop, right? So this is, and of course Stockfish does not care about this type of idea. He sees 0, 0, 0, but this type of position is at least dangerous, or at least I have ideas with white, because without the queens I will have a past protected pawn, but also he has these monsters which go up the board. So all in all, I'm not sure. It should be equal-ish. This is the type of position that Stockfish. I would have been very happy to get a position like this. The way I played knight bishop to take bishop on c5, he played bishop d1, and it's game over, right? So he has an extra piece. So all in all, already you can see the number of inaccuracies, the number of mistakes. And what we're gonna do, we are gonna do the same as we did before, but now we have to put them in games white, right? So this is the game. So here we find all the mistakes. Game new board. S, position setup. Bishop a4. And then Control N again. Rook e8. And again, here I should have played bishop a4. New S, paste. Right. Bishop a4. New d6, right? h3, bishop g7. And rook e1, g6, and here, right? So instead of h3, I should have played rook e1, right? This is the position, rook e1, good enough. And this is the way we're starting: bishop d7, rook e1, d4. Instead of d4, I should have played bishop d2. Right, so this way I'm starting, yeah, we're saving. Oops. Yeah, I think this is... Right. Yeah, so this is... So instead of d4, I should have played bishop d2. This game, new position, paste, bishop d2, white. Alright, and here I could have played bishop d3, which was good enough, would have been good enough for an advantage. So new game, paste, bishop d3, and new game. I played d5, and here I should have taken, right? So this is how you find out inaccuracies. Again, we are searching for inaccuracies. White. Alright. And c6, c4. And here, queen d2. Would have been... So, queen d2. threaten on h6 and then b4, and white is taking over. I didn't see this line in when I had to. So again, here I had to play knight to e2, knight to e2. So you see, we're doing them very, very fast. We are getting these positions in the database. So b6, here I had to play knight e2, and knight e2, all good. And then here I should have played rook e2, paste. It just goes to show how fast we can add these lines, because now we have to remember this is a game which would have taken a lot to analyze and taken us a lot to get each move started in Chessable, but this way at least it's much quicker. So this is how I would do them now, at least when analyzing them. And yeah, here rook c1 should have been played. Rook c1, right, and then here bishop e3 would have been good enough. Bishop e3. And here the final mistake that lost the game. Here we had to take on c5 and then on g3, and this was the game. And now we have a PGN file with white games and black games, and we can add them now in Chessable. So in Chessable we can import PGN, right? And now we just have to find those lines, and this here we have them. We have import, right? And we go, for instance, for white, just to double check them, just to be sure. So if we go through the white games, see, yeah, these are all the lines. Again, take yeah, this is not needed for yeah, only bishop d7 is needed. So yeah, b4, yeah, so we have pretty much all the lines, and now we can add them here. Upload, select the course, games white, and import successful. And now we do the same thing again. We will do tools, import PGN, and then games black. Select the course, and as you can see, it is much quicker. And now we have some new lines, and we can go immediately to learn them. Yeah, h6, h6, and they will show up. h6 and think. h6, right, and all the games here. h6, I take, and he will take on b5, and starting a lot of complications, which are here. Rook g8 should have been played. So it's much easier to see this. Yeah, bishop d5. This is what I played in the game. Bishop d5. right? Bishop d5. Here bishop g7. Because otherwise I feel that black is a bit tricked. Here castling. And here knight to e4. And this already shows us, and here e5. This is the cute trick that I should have seen. So e5, take, e4, and then bishop here. So e5, take, e4, and then bishop g5. Yeah, and here e4 would have been interesting. And here bishop e6, and then bishop g4, bishop e6, bishop g4. So we're starting to have, and we finished. So all in all, this is how I feel that the analysis should go. And that's enough for this episode. Hope you learned something new, and I hope to see you again next time.